Hello everyone, DonTheCrown here, and if you are looking for a video that walks you step by step the new stuff for the cow level, this is the video for you. I pretty much did a video talking about all of the stuff that the Not Finding the Cow level Discord found in the last couple of days here, and when I went to go do it for myself, it took me almost 2 hours to find all of the things, so I wanted to go through and show you how it was done. Now, there was a little bit of a slight technical mishap as I was recording this, where my microphone was muted, and so we're kind of going to watching myself here do it. I'm just going to be kind of talking over this, but basically these steps and things that I would recommend doing for this is, number one, I would recommend turning on normal difficulty. There's no reason for you basically to be on anything but normal, and then go into your options. And the options here that I recommend is you log out, you're going to go to connection and turn off your cross network play and turn off cross network communications. This way you're not going to be bumping into other players, which could potentially screw up the quest. I'd also recommend you go to the den. You click the little travel to the den button here and tell your mercenaries to, sit this one out, dismiss them because they can potentially screw up some of the steps here. I'd also recommend not having any buttons on your bar that are going to cause enemies that hit you to take a ton of damage. So like things like Midnight Sun, you might want to take off. You might also take off Toxic Skin. If you have a ton of Thorns damage, you probably want to take that off as well, because you're going to want to lead 3 enemies all together and kill them together. And if you potentially kill them early, it could be pretty bad for you. Now, the very first step here is you want to go to this spot right here in Samuk. This is where we're going to pick up in the video. And what we're going to be doing is looking for birds here. Now, you don't necessarily need to find all of these birds. You just need to go to the right locations on the map here and kind of hang out for a hot second. Now, this will work more than once on your account. However, it will only work 1 time per character. And I know this because I tried to re-record this video already twice and was not successful. So these are all of the points that we're going to be going to on the map here to get the very first relic, and at each part of these points there's supposedly a bird. I have not found all of the birds, however I was still able to successfully pass this thing. This is on the Wowhead article, which I'll link in the description down below, courtesy of the D4 Not Finding a Cow level Discord. And so starting off right away, the first bird's right there, and you just ride to the east, and the next bird is actually right here inside of this little section. At this point, I wasn't really sure whether or not it was to the left or the right. However, after doing this an additional 2 times, I was able to find the bird, which is right here, just chilling right there. And the direction that they're facing kind of lets you know exactly the direction that you should be going. And so we're just going to continue to follow the map. We are going to have to go to every single point and then go back to the start again in order to have the bell hit the ground. And once again, I wasn't really sure exactly where this was, so I just wanted to make sure I touch everything. But you see the birds right there in the tree, and it is facing down. This next bird, I still don't have any idea where it is. However, I just kind of like follow where the map is showing to go. So we're going to go to this point here, and supposedly somewhere in here is a bird. I have no idea where it is. Maybe you can help out and you know exactly where this is. However, just kind of like go in here, look around and see if you can find it, but you don't necessarily need to actually find the bird. As you can see, we're able to just keep going and it will work out in the end. The next spot here also is another spot where I don't know where the bird is just yet. And if you know, let me know. But just go up here. As you can see, I cleared a whole bunch of stuff out because I had actually gone through and failed the first time. I guess I just missed one of the birds somehow, but it's up here somewhere. And then climbing down seems to work for me. Now this next part is a little bit hard to find because the spot that you need to go is not actually on the map. It's kind of this like blank spot you have to jump down from out of this like circle area here. And so you do, I think, need to take these little hops down in order to, be in range of the bird. And the bird's chilling right here on this rock. Really quite easy to see once you know where to go. And so we're going to ride south after this part. And I actually know where the bird is now. I don't know if in this video when I took this that I knew where the bird was, but I believe on the next run that I figured out where it is. But it's like hanging out in this little section right in here. And the bird is, I believe, right here. So we can see the bird right there. Oh, I guess I did know where it was. And I was facing north. This next bird, I have no idea where it is. On the map, it's just like right next to one of the tenants. It's a possibility that this actually, like on the map, they just marked a tenant. But, you know, I just kind of ride around the island that the marker is on, so that, you know, we can cover all of our bases, as it were. And it just seems to work for me. It's worked so far 2 times to get the bell. And so it's kind of like walk everywhere and just push my character all over the place. I'm sure that if I went here and looked some more, I could find the bell or find the bear or find the bird. Actually, might be on that rock up there. Just kind of like walk around all over the place here just to make sure that we, just see if it works. And like I said, you don't actually need to know where all the birds are. It will still work for you as long as you end up being kind of close to them. Didn't see the bird here at all yet. And yeah, this particular one, we managed to actually get the bell to work. And so we're just going to mount up and leave. I also like to go around this little island here as well, just to be sure. It's kind of like looking to see if I could find it. Couldn't find it. And then the remaining ones here, I actually do know where they all are from this point. The next one is pretty easy and open in the, out in the open, pretty hard to miss if you go to the spot. There is another little statue, and maybe it's a little distracting here, but the bird is right here chilling on the ledge. And, the direction he is facing is down into the east. So we're going to ride down here. Now, I am like positive that at this point in the video, I did not know where the next bird was. However, I definitely know where it is now. It is on this like little platform to the south here, right underneath this tarp right here. And I had no idea at this point where it was. I was looking all over the place, but I have since then found this particular one. You can see it right there in the video. And yeah, I just kind of ride around. Like I said, you don't need to know where all these birds are in order to make this work. You just kind of have to be kind of in the right area. This next, all the rest ones, I do know where they are now. You just have to ride down here towards the dungeon. And it is like up the stairs from the dungeon. There is a bird. And it is just chilling, looking to the left. As you will see here, it's chilling right there. There's the bird. I don't think I knew where it was here either. It's kind of funny, like watching myself kind of discover them. But yeah, there's the bird. And then the very last one is just chilling right out in the open on a pillar right up here. Very, very easy to see. And the next step you need to do is actually go all the way back to the beginning, right where you started. And so it is a full loop that you need to travel. And once you get to the end here, it gives you basically a white item that hits the ground. That is like Wert's old bell that has kind of seen better days. And you are going to need this and 2 other items in order to progress through the whole system and get the final reward for this, which is a key that opens up a like mini cow dungeon. As you can see there, rusted old bell hits the ground, and we successfully gotten the very first thing here. It says a worn bloodstained bell that has like the letter W on it. Now the next thing you want to do is go up to Cuirass Docks, and Cuirass Docks has a little section that is just south of it. That is an area that you do go to during the main story quest. And in the main story quest, this is the area where you have to like clear out some dregs for Eru, and then like you talk to Akarat very briefly in this spot. And so this is the spot here that you're going to be going to again. And this part we're just doing some emote spam. And so right now I had Helltide in this particular run. And so I did not necessarily there's extra enemies. But from what I understand now, reading up a little bit more on the Discord, you want to emote thanks in the middle one, the left one, and then the right one. and then the gemstone will hit the ground here. Now, I actually already had it in my pocket from doing it earlier, but the Jabbering Gemstone will just hit the ground just like that. If you go middle, left, right, so middle one, left one, and then all the way far to the right in that order, and the gemstone will just hit the ground, and you should be good to go. And I don't believe that you can get 2 of them at the time. It does seem like each character is limited to getting 1 of the items. Now, the next step is a little bit weird, but you're going to want to log out and make a brand new character. This character is going to be level 1. You're going to skip the campaign. And the reason we're doing this is because the next step requires that you kill an elite with nothing but your basic attack, which is pretty difficult to do. So what we're going to do is just going to make a character 1 verse 1 here is what I named it. You don't have to name it anything particular. We're going to skip the Vessel of Hatred campaign. We're going to start on normal difficulty, and we're going to abuse the power of leveling up in order to just make this boss fight, or this, I mean, it's kind of a boss fight, a lot easier. Now, you're going to want to go down in Nahantu. This is not Nahantu yet, Don. Come on. So we're going to go down to this area down here. This little spot here, there is an elite, and I think that traveling to the den is probably just the fastest waypoint for us. Once again, you want to put no skills on the bar, no Paragon. Actually, Paragon might work, but no skills on the bar. You need to reset your skills completely. No Mercenary, and just like basically just raw level 1 character is what I recommend. It is relatively easy. And once again, this is another reason why you want to be not on a world where there's a whole bunch of people running around killing stuff, because if somebody runs by and kills something right next to you, you're going to level up to level 2 very, very quickly, and that kind of is going to defeat the purpose. I also don't know if this will work in a party. I would kind of assume that you need to do this solo, otherwise it would kind of defeat the whole thing. But leveling up does cause basically your character to burst a little bit of damage around you. And so as long as you are directly next to the elite when you level up, it is going to be really quite easy for you to win this fight. It takes off like half of his health. Even then, you can probably just like 1v1 this guy, even without the power of leveling up, but it's pretty easy. You can see there's a lot of enemies that are kind of nearby here, lots of snakes and other stuff. And we just walk out here. We kind of get caged in with him. We level up right away just for killing something, and takes off a huge chunk of his health. We don't really hit very hard. He doesn't really hit us all that hard at level 2. And so we're just going to slowly smack him down. This is pretty darn easy. The hardest part about this is definitely the figuring out where to go. And that crooked staff there that dropped, that is the thing that we're looking for. It's a quest item. It is like basically for the staff part of this. And then the next step here is hands down the most annoying part of the entire process. Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the staff here that we just found in the stash. Yes, you can stash all of these things. You don't necessarily need to have them all on one character, even earn them all on one character. And so we're going to just log back onto our character that we're grinding this thing out on. And once again, remember, no mercenary for this. You probably don't want anything that's like doing thorns or anything of that nature. And we're just going to go back to town and pick up the thing. And then what we're going to be doing is we're going to a waypoint that is on the east part of Nahantu. And we are looking for 3 of the exact same mobs. And they are these slow moving zombies, and they have like green mushrooms on them. Now, I couldn't find a good map for this. So this is the map of all of the spots that I found that they spawn. These are the only spots in the area that seems that they spawn these cordyceps zombies, I believe it was called. And so we're looking for those. And so we have all 3 relics here. And what we're going to do is we're going to gather 3 of these mobs together alive, and then we're going to kill them. And then we are going to drop all of the stuff on top of their corpses. And the very first one here is going to be somewhere around here. It is this little zombie here, the cordycepic zombie. So it's a little bit different than a lot of the other zombies. Number 1, it has like the little green growth on it. Number 2, it's like slower than most of the mobs here. As you can see, you can just clear out some of the stuff. We need to be careful not to hit our Cordy, because we want to keep them alive. But most importantly, they will stay aggro to you from like super far away, incredibly far away, and they will continue to follow you. And so I just recommend tagging that one real quick and then running over here to the right, and then grabbing the next one. You could probably clear out a lot of these enemies along the way here. We're just kind of looking for the next Cordy in this pack. And as you can see there, we found it. It's kind of like covered in almost like in a seaweed type of thing. And we're just going to slowly move these two Cordys together. I believe the first Cordy is probably still aggro to me at this point. And I do try to clear out some of the enemies here. Now, I think that if I had thorns in this example, it probably would have been fine, because the Cordy is just going to stay far away from me for the most part. But like these fast movers are all going to end up hitting me anyways. And so probably would have been actually smart to have thorns on the character, as long as you don't have like the thorns explode type of stuff. So we're slowly, patiently allowing the Cordy to follow us. Like I said, they aggro to you from a very long distance. So it's another reason why you don't want other people to be nearby, because they could potentially distract the Cordy. Or I had one basically where I was almost done, and then two guys rode past me on mounts, and suddenly my Cordy just disappeared. You also notice that a lot of these mobs here that are following me now are going to start running away, de-aggroing, whereas the Cordy is going to stay aggroed for a very long time. An incredibly long time. I'm not really sure if they have an aggro limit. As we can see here, that first Cordy was still kind of heading my way a little bit. And so now we have two Cordys, and we just need to drag them up to the north to find the third one, and then kill all of them together. I think I'm binding morass aspect here on this video, and so I made sure to take that off, because it was like slowing all enemies around me, including my Cordy, which is less than desirable. I'm just being really careful at this point. Just try like only kill enemies with like small moves for the most part, and not killing the Cordys. But I do think it's somewhat important to try to keep them somewhat on the screen. I think that this step you could definitely do in a group with some friends. Have somebody bring the one from the north down. But I've only done it by myself, and these guys do move relatively slowly, which is just pretty annoying. Once again, this is a good benefit of playing on normal difficulty, so we don't necessarily need to worry about these guys killing us or anything like that. We don't need to worry about fighting back all that much. And the Cordys actually do have a little bit of health. I think I hit them one time accidentally, and they recover quite a bit. And so very healthy mob for sure. But if I like used one of my real attacks, it would probably insta die. So just kind of like be patient, let them follow you. As you can see here, just slowly dragging through. There's tons of mobs up here. I know we're getting really close to where the last Cordy is. I don't like remember exactly at this point where it is, so I'm getting a little nervous that there's so many enemies. I was like, I know it's around here somewhere, and there it is right there, the last Cordyceps. And so all we have to do now is just kind of wait, be patient, and allow them to all kind of like merge together. And now they won't actually merge until they die, but when we kill them, as long as they die near each other, they will turn into a giant patch of like black mushrooms basically. So you can see that they're really stinking close to each other. So just kill everything, drag it all in. It creates this black mushroom field, which you just drop all of the relics into. They start glowing purple, is how you know you're doing it right. And also this black mushroom field, you cannot traverse your way through. It is like something that is, impassable by just walking through. You can like dodge through it. You can movement skill over it for sure, but like it will not be passable. Now, this next step is pretty easy. We're just going to teleport down here. We're going to go to a little temple shrine, and that has spots that you can just click and it will consume one of the relics out of your inventory. And once all three are gone, it will give you a key to the final little area here. So we're pretty much already done. That finding all of the cordies for myself earlier took me about an hour. It was really a pain in the butt. I couldn't figure out where the heck they were coming from, especially because some of them would they travel pretty far. It'd be hard to tell, is this the one that I have already found, or is this one that is a new one? Is this just traveling all over the place? And I was getting a little bit frustrated, which is why I decided to make this video for you. And so you can just see all of the stuff here. Now, this next part, just ride right up into the temple, and there are these 3 little braziers that you can just click on here. So once you have all 3 of these, it's not really obvious that these become highlighted and that you can click on them. It's not like the normal stuff in Diablo, but that will consume all 3 of your relics, and then the unusual key there will hit the ground. Now, the unusual key is used inside of the cellar that we're about to go here into. It allows you to open up a hidden secret wall, and oddly enough, this key does not get consumed, so you can actually use this as a repeatable source of farming cows or farming the Bardiche that you get at the end of this event. And so we're just going to ride right over there, and this is pretty much all done at this point. You don't really have to do anything special. It's just kind of just the reward. And so just ride right over, and a little bit of climbing, of course. And you don't even really need to do the cellar itself. Cellar, I think for the most part, has always had a very simple event of just killing enemies. So it might be actually a pretty good cellar to kind of abuse killing stuff. But the Forlorn Burrow is the spot to go. As you're going to see here, we're going to go right on in. Very short little cellar, and it always has the exact same shape. I believe that the event is always just that, just kill the enemies and they die. And then on the wall, you might notice this nice little shiny wall. All you gotta do is click it, and this little jump through appears, and the cow room is revealed. And so I'm not necessarily sure if there's any sort of secrets or hidden stuff in here, but this little spot has a whole ton of cows, and there's a ton of slain merchants and other people. And when you go and you kill all the cows, the Rusted Bardiche or Bardiche is right here on the ground, and you can repeatedly farm this, and you can give it to your friends, I'm assuming. It doesn't say that it's account bound. You can't salvage it. You can't scrap it. It doesn't give you an appearance or anything. However, this does appear to be part of the next puzzle piece for the cow level. And yeah, if you just leave the dungeon and reset it, it will give you, another access into this into the hidden cow level again and again. There's nothing particularly crazy about it. And yes, I did go and kill Lilith on tier 1 wearing the Bardiche, and nothing in particular happened. I have not yet gone and earned the new coin or gotten the stamina potion on the season, but potentially something special happens with all 3 of those things, but it's not something I've done yet. Hopefully this video helped you out. Sorry for having to kind of talk over myself, but I accidentally left my mic on mute, and it kind of is what it is. We'll check you guys again later, and we'll keep you updated on the hunt for the cow level.